Hello, welcome to Tea with the President, a very special evening segment where I get to sit down with President Naokimi and Yoshie and talk about how we're doing, how last week was, what was hard, what was good, sip some tea, maybe spill some tea, and then also what we're looking forward to next week. So yes, hi President Naokimi, how's it going?
Hello, Yoshie. Looks like we're matching colors today, kind of.
Intentional.
Yes.
Or like unity.
Unity, yes.
Today, your Sunday service was about perceiving God. And Jennifer messaged me and she said, I actually gave the same talk to like my 7th grade Sunday school, or I guess Saturday school, the day before.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, same wavelength.
Maybe she can give the next one.
Oh,
Have
interesting.
a different guest lectures for Sunday sermons.
Yeah, so if you're joining us for the first time, this is a casual conversation. So, feel free to, write questions and comments in the comments and we can talk about it. Yes. So, President Naokimi, what is a highlight of this last week for you?
Well, today was kind of nice. I really enjoyed delivering the sermon on perceiving God. I don't know. I just felt it was a good. We'll go into it later, but I thought it was a really good, balanced program. The messaging, the commentary, everything about it, I felt felt really good. So I was really happy with that. And then this afternoon, my wife's friend had a birthday party for her son, and so my family went over and we hung out a little bit. And that was really nice. It's been a while since kind of just hanging out with my peers, so that was good.
Yeah, that's always nice. That's great. Yeah, when things move smoothly, it's just a pleasure, isn't it? Like when it works, it works.
Yeah. It's one of those days, so I'm grateful for that.
That's great. Yeah, it was a particularly good service. I agree.
Yeah, we'll go and check some of the commentary, but I thought, it was other people also appreciated it. So
yeah. So what was challenging this week then?
Well, this week was particularly challenging in the area of finances. We had a few pretty urgent kind of meetings related to addressing kind of the need for additional funding from international. And so, I don't want to cause alarm, but basically we've had to have a few serious conversations, and seems like it's going to work out. I'm going to find out probably early this week in terms of approval for funding. But it's just kind of a headache. I'm hoping that once this is addressed this time, then we'll have at least another 6 months before we have to deal with it again.
Oh boy.
But it's an ongoing issue, but it kind of came to a head this past week. So anyway, a few more days and hopefully there's good news and we can keep going.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Can you speak a little bit to like what we have been operating with so far, or?
Well, the main issue is, I think I might have mentioned it and some people may already know, but the main issue is that because of the COVID, it's really affected our main source of income, which is our businesses.
Right.
And that includes the New Yorker and Ocean Peace and Manhattan Center. And usually they fund like 80 to 90% of headquarters operations. But because of COVID, it's operating at like a negative 200%. So that's a lot of money basically that we don't have. And so we've been borrowing from international to kind of stay afloat.
I see.
But we're hoping it's going to get better, but we're definitely not out of the hardest part yet of COVID. So
I see.
it's going to be a few years before we can actually get back to the pre-COVID kind of situation financially from the business side.
Mm-hmm.
Until then, we kind of have to figure out how to survive financially.
Mm-hmm. I see. So the conversations this week were with International on for the next 6 months. How are we going to survive?
Yeah, how are we going to either receive funds or increase our loan or something, some way to kind of provide the cash flow necessary to keep things moving.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's always a little bit complicated. There's international rules and moving money across organization. Even though we're the same entity, we're incorporated separately from different countries. So it's not as simple as, just transferring funds.
Mm-hmm. Gosh. Got it. Well, I'm glad that you are the one to do this. And I actually, like Marion says the same thing in the comments. Glad that you have a great financial educational background to be
It
dealing with this
helps.
for us.
It helps to know how serious the issue is.
Right. Yeah. And yeah, it's really difficult that this is the situation. But I guess it's a situation that is shared with many organizations right now and over the last couple of years.
But we are working it out. So again, with good communication, I'm hoping we can get through this.
I guess it's interesting because wasn't last week also kind of a challenging week as far as communicating with International goes?
Yeah, and I think because it came to a head, we kind of really pushed hard, and we finally got a response where International acknowledged that this is an issue, and then so that got the conversation going, which is better than not having a response. So
Got it. Okay.
So that's the progress that we're making.
Got it. Okay. Okay. So then what happened? What developments happened this week that you're excited about?
This week, let's see. One big thing was on Tuesday, we had our launch for the Blessing Fest 40-day campaign. So the cool thing is it's not just about doing an event on December 18th, but it's about really preparing for and hosting your own watch parties and enrolling people in follow-up education. So it's a 40-day campaign where we're offering prayer in preparation, but also practically we're preparing to plan our and host our watch parties. So yeah, it's kind of neat. I kind of like the whole idea of not just having one event, but over a period of time, continually investing in its success. So that was launched just this past Tuesday. It's going to go from December 1st until January 9th. So through the whole holiday seasons.
And then beyond when the event is.
Exactly. So I want to encourage people to actually host multiple watch parties sequentially. So you might have your first one on the 18th, have a great experience, and you want to kind of connect with different groups of your connections, whether it's family, extended family, friends, colleagues, and you can have multiple watch parties with the same content. But again, this is all about celebrating our blessed family culture and really encouraging people to move on their own personal journeys.
Yeah, great. Okay, so this is an exciting development that we launched the 40-day Blessing Fest campaign, and this is different because where usually we have one event that we're trying to get everybody to attend at once and also get like this many people registered for, we're encouraging people to have kind of smaller, more focused watch parties where they invite people to their houses and
Yeah, it's a kind of a different strategy where it's not about getting a whole bunch of people to watch at the same time. It's more like having a really good, solid program, and you have multiple smaller sessions where the purpose is actually developing personal relationships.
Mm,
So that's really what I feel is gonna make the greatest impact on the people around us.
right. It's the kind of like yes, there's the numbers and it's an event, but also, yeah, you're able to invest more in the relationships and in what's happening in the room. Very cool. Like a kind of dual purpose.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not just increasing and reaching, providing exposure to as many people as possible, but also going into more the quality of relationships, quality of engagement as we really share more deeply and personally with each person that we introduce this to.
Great. Wow. Yeah, exciting. 40
Yeah.
days through what January, what again?
January 9th. So it's 40 days to starting December 1st. That's 31 days plus 9 days in January. So you hit all the holiday seasons. You got Christmas, you got New Year's, you have college students at home. There's many different, opportunities during the holiday season.
Right. Great. Is there anything else that happened this week development wise?
Yeah, there's one more thing I'd like to mention. That's we had an ongoing kind of meeting around developing a leadership program for our kind of current leaders and emerging leaders. And we were thinking of developing it, particularly in Subregion 1, as a pilot. But it's kind of evolving relatively quickly. We came up with a name. It's going to be called Accelerate. And yep. And it's going to be probably at least the first series is going to be a 16-week training. And we're going to cover all kinds of different skills that will be beneficial for leadership. So that's going to be rolled out in early January. And I'm also working on partnership with UTS to do a more in-depth training after the initial kind of Accelerate program. A select number of people can actually enroll in a unification leadership certificate course at UTS, and you actually get academic credit for your training. So that's all going to be rolled out next year, 2022. So it's pretty exciting. And I just have one more kind of round to review it, and then I'm going to bring it to Dr. Young and kind of get ready for the launch next year.
Cool. Wow. Yeah, I laughed a little when you said Accelerate because it reminds me of the Accelerated Master's program.
Yes.
You also kind of spearheaded at UTS. And it seems like on theme. It was like, oh, was I like like kind of a part of the first Accelerate program somehow?
Yeah, it's a different in nature, but it's going to, when we start this UTS leadership course, it's going to be similar. We're going to actually have a cohort. We're going to have a whole class of students that enroll at the same time, and the classes will be pre-selected. So everyone's kind of going through the core base education. So it's going to be very good. I think it's going to be very exciting, but I feel like to cover all the different types of skills necessary first will help elevate the leadership very quickly, and then you can go more in depth in the UTS side. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, great. Okay, so you mentioned Sunday service. So if you are watching for the first time, President Naokimi reads all of the comments from the sermon that he gives on Sunday on Facebook. And, he highlights his favorite ones, and then we get to talk about it on Tea with the President, go a little bit more in depth and, see what the audience had to say, basically. So let's jump in. Jennifer who was also our MC this week, said, I think one fascinating thing about Divine Principle is how it introduces and shares about God so intimately, a unique perspective for those who found God hard to relate to because he was so mysterious.
Yeah, I agree with Jennifer. It's kind of interesting that she gave a talk on the same topic the day before because it felt like she was really on today. And I was like, wow, like her commentary, reflections, emceeing, it was just like flawless. And I was really impressed.
Jennifer was, I guess, meant to be the MC today.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, behind the scenes a little bit, Rest Fred was sick and unable to MC.
Oh, is that what happened? I didn't even know.
And then also Tall asked me, and I have like a not ideal like setup because I'm traveling. And so, I mean, anyway, thank you, Jennifer. And
Yeah,
also, like, I
wow.
think God wanted you there today.
Yes, that's why Resfred got sick because God wanted you to MC. Yeah.
Okay, so the next favorite comment is also Jennifer. God needs us and we need God. Smiley face.
Yeah, I think that point, we don't really reflect on too often, but we think God is almighty, omnipotent, and kind of like we need God. But actually, if we follow what the principle is saying, it's a mutual relationship. So, in order for God to also feel complete, He needs us, and He needs to engage with us in a meaningful way for Him to feel fully complete. So, anyway, that's a key point that I felt was important to emphasize.
Okay. And the next comment is also from Jennifer.
Wow. 3 in a row. It's like a turkey in bowling, but
I think what President is hinting at is that we need I think hold on. My reading stopped. My brain hiccuped. I think what President Naokimi is hinting at is that we need what we need in building a relationship is patience. If a relationship is new, all these ways of getting to know someone takes time to build and get comfortable. Taking little steps will get farther than trying to hammer out an hour-long prayer in one go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she also mentioned that during her kind of reflection time where she was facilitating a discussion. But this point about being patient with developing a relationship with God, that it doesn't come immediately, and it takes time, just like any relationship. And so to be patient with that and continue to invest and try so that that can grow over time.
Yes. And the next comment is from Gregory Davis, who said, God knows me intimately. Profound.
Yeah, I mentioned it just briefly in the sermon, but I, as challenging or as kind of awkward as it is to build a relationship with God, especially in the beginning, I find that, when you do that, the kind of security you feel is like none other. Like knowing that God gets you, God has your back, and that He understands, or whatever you're going through, that God is with you. It's like the most stabilizing feeling ever, and I feel like that's well worth the investment to kind of work on that relationship because again, you feel so much more at peace when you know that God gets you.
Yeah.
And that's why the whole there was one example I gave about how we both like numbers. It's like God knows me so well that explains things to me in numbers, gives me signs and numbers, just so that I can appreciate and get that God is working there. So that's the kind of like intimacy. Like
Yeah.
God gets me so well that he communicates with me in a way that I can really appreciate. Kind of tickles me.
I
And he
bet
does that for each person,
Yeah.
based on what works for them.
I bet God is a little bit of a numbers nerd as well, and is like, oh, like, I think this is really cool. Like, I'm excited to be able to share this with Naokimi because he'll get it. Like,
Yeah, kind of like that.
not everybody can, but Naokimi,
Not
like, he'll
now
appreciate
Kimmy will get this one. Yeah, yeah. That's the
fun.
kind of feeling,
Yeah.
and I feel like he does that with each person based on what their communication language kind of.
Yeah. Okay, so the next comment is from Angelica Sally. She said, "Thank you, Dr. Ward and Miss Sungmi Orr, for sharing your profound and inspiring reflections."
Yeah, I thought the reflection and the conversation today were great. I
Yeah.
mean, it was just solid, balanced, personal. I don't know, it just flowed really well, and so I was really I just had to highlight that I like the conversation reflection today. I thought it was really good.
Yeah. I was also very touched by Sungmi's testimony. I like teared up a little bit. So yeah. Okay, next comment. Marina Falcone said, "And I really love Jennifer Pierce's MC. You are the best."
Yeah, we already mentioned that part,
Yeah.
but might as well say it again, Jennifer. Great job today. Clutch. Great backup and
Saving the day and, all of that.
yes.
Great. What are you looking forward to this week, President Naokimi?
This week, let's see. Well, I am scheduled to have a lunch with Dr. Young, kind of a Trinity lunch that he likes to have with us, me, Milhan, and Joshua. So that's kind of something I'm looking forward to. Yeah, I mean, he usually has a lot of inspiration to share, but the Korean food is nice.
The love and the Korean food
Yes, the love and the Korean food.
comes
Expressed in the Korean food.
but
That's what I'm looking forward to. But I'm also there's the leadership program that I'm preparing. I want to kind of finalize that proposal, so I'm looking forward to getting that done this week as well. So that's something I'm looking forward to.
Great. Well, yeah, I know that you said that you're a little pressed for time today, so I don't want to keep you any longer. And thank you, everybody, for joining us this week on Tea with the President.
Yes, thanks for joining, everyone.
Yes, and we will see you next week, same time, same place.
All right, have a good night, everyone.